When you live abroad and you go back home to visit friends and family, do you ever feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster? Believe me, I get it. I'm Schneider-Bean, intercultural specialist and coach, and I've lived abroad for 15 years. And I understand that there are some ups and downs when you go home, wherever home might be, and that there is a way to hop on the roller coaster so you will enjoy the ride. You see, ups and downs are inevitable. It's part of the process of going back to a place that at one point seemed really familiar and now trying to connect with the people that you care about that are so far away. Who doesn't love gorging on foods that you haven't had in months, or speaking in your native language freely with people who understand you, and actually being in the same room, let alone time zone, with the people that you care about most? Those are the highs. Those are the ups of going home. But it's always not that simple. Sometimes it's actually hard. You go back and you notice that time has passed. You see it when babies have become toddlers, when your parents are aging and graying, or when you just have no idea what you're going to buy your nephew for his birthday. Sometimes it gets hard, and even so much that you think, wait a minute, was this a good idea to move abroad? And you start questioning whether you should move back home. So wait a minute, before you make any rash decisions, I want you to think about these 3 points. 1, balance your perspective. 2, get curious about the ups and downs. And 3, don't torture yourself. And the first one is about finding the balance. I think sometimes we get focused or confused that we have to have quantity of moments with people, like we have to be there every single Sunday for coffee, and if not, we're missing out. But we forget that actually we have interesting quality. It's not better or worse, but the quality that we have with individuals when we have that big bear hug in an airport, or that anticipation before you see each other after being away from each other for 6 months. Those are beautiful moments. Now, that same balance of perspective goes with not just people, but also for things. You know that excitement that you have when you haven't eaten a certain food or been to a certain store in a long time? Now, this is especially true for those of you who live in developing contexts or places where it's harder to get things. You walk into the store and you practically hyperventilate from all the options or how many cereals there are in the cereal aisle. But this is the thing. Look around you. Are other people hyperventilating? No. It's just normal to them. So the thing is, the things we get really excited about actually become mundane when you live there. So the beauty of being abroad and going home or going to the place that you call your second home is that you get to really enjoy the things that you don't always have access to. So celebrate that. I want to encourage you to gently remind yourself why it was that you moved abroad. Think about all that you gain. Now, that is a new language, cultural experience, living in adventure, widening your viewpoint, exposing your children to things that they would never see if they stayed in your home or had never left where they were born. And isn't actually that what led you to make the choices to go abroad in the first place? That you need to get curious about the ups and downs that you're going through. They are signs that maybe you're not paying attention to. It's like evidence. When you're feeling an up, you're feeling high, it's a great expression that you are living in full alignment with something that you value. Maybe you love friendly, easy customer service. Well, that is great. You love spending time with your family face to face and laughing. And maybe you appreciate having access to certain things. It's a reminder, yes, this is why it's so nice to come home. The downs might actually be a reflection of what you miss. So I have this thing where when I see one of my best friends, I actually miss her more when I see her than before. And it's like sticking a knife in my chest. But what that does to me is, hey, this is someone you love and she's right in front of you. And it also serves as a reminder to, hey, maybe I should pick up that phone a little bit more often or send a few more emails. So when you're feeling down, it's probably a sign of this is something I want to have in my life more often. How can you create that? These ups and downs are simply a reflection of your growth, of your complexity, of the development you've made as a person who's living and working across cultures. It's not a sign that things are no longer valuable between friends or family. They've just changed. So embrace it for what it is. So the third thing I want you to take away is don't torture yourself. Oftentimes we try to have it all at the same time, and that means the adventure, the multiple languages, the travel, and the Honey Nut Cheerios. But it's really not that easy to have it all at the same time. So when you're having the ups and downs, make sure that you stop torturing yourself and that you focus on what is. Remember, what is probably a vacation back home. So to make the best of that, check out my other video, Expat Vacation Do's and Don'ts, so you get really clear on what you want out of that vacation. The awareness of making the best of the time when you're home and embracing what's best about your expat life is essential in slowing down the emotional roller coaster and making the best of your time abroad. Subscribe and don't miss my next video where I'll share tips on expat reentry blues. Those are the ups and downs that you go through after you leave vacation and get back to your everyday life. So don't miss it.
Bam!